Never.
In any case, y'all have dating and honestly life on easy mode because I think it's just like.
I wouldn't say.
But I also have a lot of respect
You
for
have
men.
dating on easy mode. It's yeah, women have. I mean,
If you
We
were a
do.
girl,
We
would
do.
take
You
that
have
up?
to admit that.
That just like
you
made me
you
feel
have
a lot
to admit
better,
it's
though.
easier
So
for
thanks
us.
for
No,
saying
you
it out
wait,
loud.
Get a
you feel.
date?
What do you mean,
If I,
Wait, let them go.
guys? Please stop the crosstalk. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just don't see it really for dating, to be honest. Like, are you saying like we can get any guy we want? Is that what you're saying? That's
not what I'm saying.
Okay, then what are you saying?
Well, I'll explain it after she goes.
Okay.
Go ahead. What did you have to say?
Yeah, you saying that we have life and dating on easy mode. We really do. I could be scrubbing
Yes.
dishes again, but no, I sit in my bed.
Yes.
And smoke.
All right, there we go. Okay, all right. She agrees with me, I guess. Yeah, y'all kind of got.
I
that shit on
agree
easy
to a
mode.
100%.
Okay, wow. Okay, I'm surprised.
Thank
that
you
she,
for validating my
I
awful
validate
mindset.
your recruit mode difficulty on. Okay. So. Okay, so you asked why it's.
Yeah, like elaborate a little bit more on the dating.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever? You're currently in college, right?
Yeah.
Think about high school. So I want everybody here to picture. I'm sure all of you have had a situation where you've had a group project, right? Remember like group projects in high school or group projects in college? Now, I don't know where you fell in that group dynamic, but typically in those scenarios, there's going to be let's say it's 4 people, right? There's going to be at least one person that doesn't do jack shit in the group project. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of like how dating is between men and women. Y'all don't do jack
I can
shit
agree with that.
at the beginning, right? I think later on you
Not
guys
a
start doing a little
thing.
more.
We auditioned first. They auditioned
We-
second.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
basically have to carry, and this is also, I mean, I've made this video game analogy. There's a term in video games called carrying, where one person sucks at the video game.
You backpack them.
Yeah, you backpack them. You're
Yeah.
like, you're carrying them to the victory.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how dating is typically, because men, we have to take all the initiative. The burn of performance is on us. The burn of initiative is on us. We have to, if we're meeting, let's say we're on a dating app, we have to send the first message. We have to plan the first date. We have to set up the date. We have to pay for the date. We have to make.
Not Bumble.
Well, okay, the thing with Bumble, though, Bumble, it's a very token level of initiative because the women will send the first message, and typically it's not a very
That's
creative.
the only way you can
It's
connect
hey.
with them.
It's hey.
It's hey.
It's a verbal
They'll
swipe.
They'll say hey. It's such a, like, Bumble is such a joke because the girl says hey, and then they immediately shift the conversational duty and burden onto the man. Because if I just respond hey back,
Ew. That's it.
like, the girl's not gonna, even though she has to send the first message, it's,
Well,
again, it's very
especially-
token.
So what you
I
just said,
get
you just
what
said.
you're
Sorry.
saying. Sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, well,
I
okay,
cut
and
you
then
off.
just to
I-
finish off.
This is her point, so I want to let her
Just to
finish
finish
this.
off my point really quick. And then when it comes to moving things forward, the guy's going to have to close the physical distance gap. He's going to have to go for the first kiss. He's going to have to move things forward sexually. He's going to, okay, how can I smoothly, like, hey, you want to come back to my place, that sort of thing. Escalate things towards sex. Oh, if she's not down, okay, cool. And then wash, rinse, repeat. Second date, move things forward sexually. And, depends on how things go, but he's going to have to initiate on all those steps. Go ahead.
I'm a little different though.
just-
With my first boyfriend, I made the move on him. I kissed him because he was a little bit of a weenie. So I feel like
Sure.
I had to make the first move if I wanted anything to go forward.
I would say actually that, and this is interesting, and I don't know, maybe
I
some
feel
people
like
might disagree. Hold on, let me just finish really quick on this point. Is I think with like younger relationships, when obviously the girl's going to encounter a guy who he himself, like, we're talking like high school relationships or maybe like college, like first encounter with dating, sex, relationships, the guy might be he doesn't have the requisite experience. If you're dating a guy who's your age, he might not have the requisite experience of having dated other women. So I think in those scenarios, the women might actually take a bit more initiative. But once I think you've had enough experience, like, women really aren't initiating.
I feel like I am. You just don't know me.
Okay. Go ahead.
What you just said about I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Oh, you said you're gonna say hey if he says hey back.
Well,
Ew,
especially if
right?
there is you have your little like cards in there that describe you.
No,
And
I understand.
like one of them
But he
said-
has them too.
Yeah.
And you didn't use those. So here's what I'm saying.
No,
You
I don't
said-
say hey
you,
though.
You said hey. So whatever it is, it's a simple hello. You are now permitted to talk to me. Okay. And now the man has to come up with something else. If it's not creative, if it's not stimulating, you're like, ew, no. Because you have a million other options waiting for you right there on the app. The guy sends hey, you send hey back, he's going to be like, oh, okay, so like, what do I say now? He's still thinking about what's next in the conversation. He's not icked out by the fact that you just said hey back. He expects it because he knows that he has to be the one who's impressing you up front. This is why we're saying early in the dating process, women have it on easy mode. We have to do everything.
Would you
Yeah,
guys
that's
wait?
so
I
true.
completely agree. I'm on the exact same page. But would you guys have it any other way? Like, if you could, what way would it be?
Well, it's kind of.
You kind of like
Yeah.
it. That's kind of your vibe.
Well, I actually think so. The leverage that women have early on is insane.
Okay.
So I mean, would I have it any other way? Just so basically, like if we were to flip roles, like women just wanted to. Fuck
No, do you
me,
just
I'm
want like
down.
even playing field? So like
what do
I
you
could
mean?
ask you to go to bed, or you could ask me, or like I could ask you to dinner and spend a bunch of money, and that would be like status quo, or what?
Oh, so
Like what way would you guys have it? I don't know, because I agree with what you're saying, but like what's your mindset on it?
I'll let you come in. Just
Sure.
let me just respond to her. So my view is that you take an average woman. So women have far greater sexual optionality than men do.
Correct.
So you can take basically like an average or even below average looking girl, and she has the equivalent sexual optionality of an A-list celebrity. So I'm talking musician, I'm talking actor, I'm talking professional athletes.
This has been proven in like experiments on dating apps, by the
Statistically.
way.
I think
Yeah.
it's also just
I
like
don't. I
common
mean, I had
sense.
a
Like
dating
any,
app for a few
I wanna-
months.
yeah.
and I
well,
don't.
any girl can, if you were
Sorry.
so inclined,
Okay.
you could hop on a dating app. You could go to the club. You could go to a bar. You could go to
Anywhere,
a party,
gas station.
and like fuck a dude. You could fuck 3 dudes a day.
Ew.
The amount of men who could sleep with 3 new women a day is like it's not even 1%. It's like 0.01%. An average woman has the sexual optionality of, again, like the top tier of men, but you just have to basically exist.
So really.
No, I know, but
So-
how would you have it? Okay, those are the stats. I can respect those. How would you have it? What would be your?
I'll tell you exactly how we would have it.
Well,
Well, I want to
go
hear
ahead.
both
Go
of you.
ahead. No,
Yeah,
go ahead,
no,
go ahead.
I-
It's
but
not
I
that we
believe-
would want it to be different. We just want women to be completely comprehending the fact that that is the reality. A lot of girls don't see it as like men are putting in all this work.
Okay.
Men see it as they see it as like, oh, you like paid for my meal. Oh, you set the date. You're doing
Like
the
you should do that.
You're doing the
kinda
bare
thing.
minimum. Like that's just the bare minimum. You're always
Oh,
looking for
okay.
more. This
Right.
is not a matter of doing more or less. It's a matter of men and women both understanding that we as humans have our own mating dance.
Yes.
Like this is just how
Evolutionary.
it works. So, but Brian always talks about how men should not be paying on dates nowadays. You know why?
There's a few exceptions.
A few exceptions.
Yes.
But for the most part, one of the big reasons why we don't do it is one, because of the not just the abundance of options that women have, but the access to those options that they now
Absolutely.
have. Okay. And on top of that, the fact that you now make money. In fact, young women, which are the ones who are mostly in the dating market, most older women are out of the dating
Right.
market.
Minus
You
my
guys
mom.
are
Shout out, Mom.
matching men or outperforming men in most markets in terms of your income. Okay. So why should we have to pay for the date and toll out a bunch of money when you guys could do that? Why should we have to?
Good
So
point.
you're saying
I
because it's in
actually-
your male masculine, correct?
There are a lot of ways
Isn't
that a
what
man
said
can
earlier?
court you without having to spend a bunch
Absolutely.
of money on
No,
you.
I agree.
Right?
But so what is the answer to the question you're asking, or is it rhetorical?
Well, no. What you said was, would you have it any other way? What I would say is,
Okay.
women need to just see this as this is the way that it works, and they need to just accept the fact that
Appreciate.
this is an audition for men, and we are sitting. We know that we are sitting amongst a bunch of different options. We
Right.
know that we're not the only guy that you're talking to right now. We know that. So if we're not going to be going all in on the first date or all in on the second date, there's a reason for that. We're trying to play this game of like we're doing just a little bit of the beginning of the mating dance to see if you return the favor of that mating dance. But most women won't return the favor because they think that, oh, he just did the bare minimum. He didn't go above and beyond. He didn't make himself stand out. There's an early part. There's a very early part of that attraction mating dance that just needs to be accepted.
I think that's
What
right.
I
ahead, go ahead.
think
Yeah.
is what I'm literally hearing is right now men are waiting. The women are in this mindset that they need the dates paid for. Like I kind of said this earlier. They need all the dates paid for. They need everything given to them, and the bare minimum is literally being picked up. Like no, if a man doesn't have a car, he can't pick you up. Don't be dumb. But at the same time, I think men are waiting for women to be out of that cliche, like, you have to do all this for me, because in the 1870s in 13th colony, New England, that's how it was. Like, no.
Wait, which colony?
Like the 13th colonies, like New England type, like shit. Like that's how it was. Like the men
Dating
did
in
everything.
the colonies.
Like the men did everything, and now they're expecting, like,
What was
that's
the
why they
boat?
expect to do so much for
Mayflower?
The
women.
Mayflower?
Those
That's
are
why
the
they feel
Pilgrims.
so obligated to do so much for women, and now they're trying to find someone
Where
who.
did they land? Where did they land?
Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth
New York?
Rock. Dude, shit, hookup culture was fucking crazy during Plymouth Rock days.
Dude, Mormonism was like the
Fuck.
shit.
So, okay, the original point, you guys were all talking about sugar daddies, and I said, hey, y'all have dating life on easy mode, opportunities just for existing. So,
Valid.
disagree?
You're right.
I
No,
don't
you're right.
know.
I
Okay, I'll
agree.
make further
It's easier
points.
for
can
women.
make-
I think 100%.
It's
I feel
much
like
easier
I-
for
Easier for
women than
women
men, and
for
we can get
sure.
behind
For
that.
sure.
It is easy. Like,
Here, I could tackle this from a couple different perspectives.
Maybe I just like lame dudes. I don't know.
okay, if we're at a concert and he wants to get backstage or I want to get backstage,
You're getting backstage.
We're getting backstage.
Yeah, that's a fair point. What about
You
the
know what I mean?
rejection? Like, so when it comes to something that's difficult, wouldn't we all agree, like, if you have a higher likelihood of dealing with, like, nobody likes dealing with rejection, right? Who gets rejected more, men or women?
Men.
Men.
Like, more often than not, are you rejecting men or are they rejecting you?
We're
Well,
rejecting men.
sometimes women don't understand that they're getting rejected. They keep trying and trying, and the men keep
Well,
kind
that
of allowing
okay.
it.
So that is
I
an
get
interesting
rejected
thing.
all
Like,
the
so
time.
men get rejected on the front end. Women will typically get rejected on the
and
back
they don't
end.
understand because they don't accept no as an answer.
In any case, though, men face more. I would say men face more rejection than
Yeah.
do.
And you can't
women.
fathom
and
a
this
world
all
in which
comes
a man
down
would
to
reject you.
feminism and how men
Correct.
have been projected
That is
as
100%
like
correct.
these negative images in our lives, and that men are like some evil source of, like, I don't know, and they're so aggressive and they're mean, and this is what it comes down to, this whole stigma. But if you're like a logical human who can like think with both sides of their brain, like you know that that's not true.